Hi, my name is Mary Ann D. St. Aubin, and I've been a parishioner here at St. Gertrude for 13 years, and I've had the blessing of sponsoring 5 people in the RCIA program. As I look back on my own faith journey, I grew up in a Catholic family, went to Mass every Sunday, but I really didn't know my faith. I was like many people of my generation who weren't well catechized, and so I didn't really know what the church teaches or why. Early in my marriage, my husband and I moved a lot with his job. We moved around the country, and in our move we met many wonderful families who taught us a lot about our faith. We witnessed a lot in their beautiful families about the truths of the Catholic Church. And each place we moved, we learned something different. I remember after not participating in confession for a number of years, I went back to confession. We learned how to pray the rosary. We learned about Eucharistic adoration and many other beautiful things in the church. I began to hunger and thirst for Christ and His church. Being a sponsor has been another gift to me in my faith journey. Each week as I attended the RCIA classes, the person that I was sponsoring, it deepened my knowledge and understanding of the church and what it teaches. We would read the Catechism, we would read Scripture. Many of the team members in RCIA would share their own stories of their faith journey. And we were very blessed to have a priest with us. And he was able to share stories, answer questions, and at the end of class he would give us a blessing. And I also realized that having that priest there was a blessing for the candidates as well, because many of them had never been in the presence of a priest, and so they became very comfortable and felt comfortable asking questions. And when it came time for them to make their first confession, they were comfortable and knew that the priest was kind and loving, and it wasn't a scary thing. I especially liked the beginning of the classes in the fall, because all the candidates were encouraged to write any questions that they had about the faith. And many of them were misconceptions, things that they thought the church taught, but it wasn't true. And so during the year, all of those questions were answered, and they came to know what the church really does teach. And it helped me personally, because many times a family member or someone else that crossed my path might have those same questions, and I was able to articulate a good answer for them from what I experienced in the RCIA program. Being a sponsor also made me realize how much I have taken for granted being a Catholic, being born into the church, when many of these people had long, hard journeys to get there. Many of them had to leave family members who were not happy with them coming into the church, and some of them left their whole faith communities in their parish or their own churches. And so there was a lot of difficulty for them, and so it made me realize that I really need to be welcoming and supportive to them. I've been especially moved by the zeal and enthusiasm by so many converts. Many of them have, just watching them, and I realized that so many of us who have been in the church for years have just been lukewarm with our faith. We've lost that appreciation of the great treasure we have in the Catholic Church. Recently I heard this on Catholic radio, that the church exists to evangelize. Wow, that made me really think how important RCIA is. We are all called to evangelize. We can't just keep this treasure to ourselves. This past Easter, when I attended the Easter Vigil, I felt so emotional. Even though I didn't personally know any of the candidates, I was more aware of the journey and the awesome gift that they were about to receive. I imagined Jesus standing with his arms open in love, receiving them and saying, "Welcome home, my child." Those are the same words I hope to hear when my journey here on earth is done. And how wonderful to think that God allowed me to participate in someone else's journey. Thank you.